The Consumption presents Punwatch, the competitive pun-based quiz game.
Episode 505, Jetscreed.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Punwatch. This week we have Punsters Lisa,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
Ferris,
Yes.
and Alex.
Yes.
Hey,
Everyone was the same that time.
yeah, everyone's in sync.
Like that band. Backstreet Boys.
Hey, question.
Yes.
Was like Nsync, were those boys like known for being slightly weedier than the average boy band at the time?
Weedier.
Those boys.
Well, you know, like because I was
Those Nsync boys, they're not hitting the gym enough, I tell you that.
no, I feel like the boy bands of that period did sort of style themselves slightly differently. Because I feel like the Backstreet Boys tended to be more cut and buff than
Not
the
really.
guys. You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
No, because all boy bands have certain archetypes, and one of them is often a bit more buff. It's usually the tough guy.
Yeah.
Who was the tough guy in Nsync?
I think it was meant to be Joey Fatone.
Was it Joey Fatone?
And he was not buff.
No, Joey Fatone's the ugly one. Chris Hardwick?
That's not an archetype within the boy band.
Yes, there
like-
is. Yeah.
No, I think is it not like the one you're meant to feel a little bit sorry for?
He's always the one who's a little bit older, not like traditionally handsome, like Kevin in Backstreet Boys.
Yeah. Who was the first to go bald?
Who's the uncle, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't he like the leader?
No,
No,
the
no.
lead is the lead singer.
Yeah.
I thought Kevin Federline was the lead singer.
Who's
No,
Kevin
not
Federline?
Kevin Federline.
Kevin Richardson
Who's
was
Kevin
in.
Federline?
Kevin
Britney
Federline married
Spears,
Britney
that's
Spears.
Britney Spears' husband.
Yeah.
I think the archetype we're thinking of here is the other one. There's like
Yeah.
everyone has
Yeah.
a role, and then there's the other one that just makes up the numbers.
It's kind of the bass player for a band that doesn't have a bass player.
Yeah. Look. What I'm saying is, I know this role well.
Okay.
I feel like the Backstreet Boys quite often wore like sleeveless shirts.
Yeah.
With their biceps showing.
Yeah.
And NSYNC, I feel like they didn't go shirtless very often.
No, yeah.
Except for maybe Justin, who was pretty skinny.
That's what I mean. Like Justin
Yeah.
Timberlake at the time seemed particularly skinny.
Well, he was like 18, right?
No, I think it was much of a muchness. I think
okay.
I think that they were all fairly not really reedy, but none of them were particularly like buff. You know, they weren't like
Yeah.
They weren't like abs from Five.
no one is.
Yeah.
Five were a particularly ripped boy band.
Yeah, they were really hitting the gym.
They were probably my favorite too.
And then there were like Human Nature, who even when they were in like their early 20s, all seemed like dads.
Oh yeah, they've always had big dad energy.
Yeah.
They're nice boys.
Hey, that's my personality.
There's nothing wrong with dad energy, Dave. I'm just saying. Australia just doesn't really do boy bands the same way. We don't have that. We don't have that pop machine that America does.
We don't have any money. It's mostly what
Yeah,
it is.
true.
Yeah.
Remember Scandalous? Hey.
Bardo.
Yep.
Yeah, that's two. Then we ran out.
Yep.
Anyone remember Ultra?
No?
No.
Oh, well, they say it once.
Yes, they
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
Oh.
Say it once, say it twice.
Oh, yeah. Well, hang on. What about CBD? Weren't they Australian?
Yep. They
Yeah.
were.
They?
Yeah.
What an education we're getting.
This is a new podcast, Remembering Boy Bands.
Remembering boy bands sounds like they all died.
Oh, hang on. Who was the guy in one of the seasons of Australian Idol who like dropped out like quite early, like number 16 or something? But he was a punk, but he was like in his
Lee
30s.
Harding.
Lee Harding, yeah.
Wasabi,
Yeah.
that
Yes,
guy.
Wasabi, yeah. When they, I might have mentioned this before, but when they briefly brought back Pop-Up Video, which was a show where they would just play a video clip and pop up little facts.
With annoying
about them.
facts, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the facts about Lee Harding was Lee doesn't even care what you think.
I had in the days when you had to like search for MP3s,
Yes.
like one at a time
Yeah.
on the internet.
On LimeWire.
You'd go on like LimeWire or Napster or whatever. I had quite a few versions of songs and I didn't realize what was happening, but quite a few versions of songs that had been taped off that program. So just in the middle of like, I don't know, like Let It Be or whatever, it'd be like, when I find myself, whoop,
Really fucking annoying.
Is this part of the song?
Yeah.
Who is this producer who puts this in all of their songs?
They didn't need to have that sound effects. Like it's...
Yeah. Completely unnecessary.
Anyway, stories.
Okay.
So, story one from the Daily Mirror. Dale McLaughlin, the lovesick Romeo who got thrown in prison for crossing the treacherous Irish Sea on a jet ski just to see his girlfriend, has split up with her just months later, friends of the couple say. Dale, 28, won the heart of Jessica Radcliffe, 30, after making the 25-mile journey from Scotland to the Isle of Man to visit his new love in December last year, spending 4.5 hours at sea on a jet ski. McLaughlin's foolhardy plan sparked a major Coast Guard search. The alarm was raised after McLaughlin, who can hardly swim, failed to return to his car and the jet ski trailer left near the harbour slipway on the Isle of Whithorn, Dumfries and Galloway. The Coast Guard teams who found his car searched for him amid fears he drowned at sea in conditions so rough that even local fishermen had decided not to venture out. The search started around the time he arrived in Ramsey Harbour on the Isle of Man after completing his amazing 4-hour trip with only 10 minutes of fuel left. The river from Irvine, North Ayrshire, was jailed for breaching coronavirus lockdown rules, but was freed 3 days later before Christmas after serving 10 days of his sentence.
Why does a typical jet ski carry enough petrol to go for 4.5 hours?
Suppose he want to noodle around for as long as he can.
4.5 hours though, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's a pretty long run.
That's a lot of noodling.
You know, I didn't even know until today that jet ski isn't even the name of.
It's a brand name.
It's a brand name. It's like Kleenex.
It's a Kawasaki.
Yeah. I always thought that's just what they were called.
Nah, that is. That's just Wikipedia being like, we can't officially say this.
Yeah, they're called personal watercrafts.
They're not. They're called jet skis.
Yeah. Or sea-doos, depending on where you're from.
Personal watercraft is just what I call like the lilo that I take to the beach and float around on.
There is so much going on in this story.
A lot.
Yeah, for some reason, the thing I'm stuck on is why they felt the need to publish their ages.
Well, there's some papers that just do that as a matter of course. But that said, doesn't 28 seem a little too old to be doing this?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It does, yeah.
This is a thing you do when you're a teenager. Also, I want to know why they broke up.
How do you leave that out?
No, that was in the article, but I left it out because there were way too many details. It involved Jessica Radcliffe being arrested for assaulting some other woman, including giving her burns to her forehead.
Jesus.
Like it's kind of a dark story.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I want to go up and read about this Romeo and Juliet saga when I get home.
But the thing is that the journalist also detailed how they were pretty sure they'd broken up because she deleted all the photos of him off her Facebook page.
Oh God.
So wait, they hadn't even officially...
I think they have, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was friends of the couple said. So it was sources close to,
Yeah.
pals.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love the gossipy nature of the real like tabloid rags, how they're just like, oh,
Yeah.
I heard they broke up because, he hasn't liked any of her Instagram posts. And it's like, so she follows him, but he doesn't follow her anymore. It's just so weird.
I put these puns out to the audience. Now, Drew and 23 others is going to complete in this round only because he submitted enough for this
Wait,
one.
is that a person?
That's his name on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
His name on Twitter is Drew and 23 others, so every time he likes one of your posts, you think a lot of other people
We
have liked
can't
your
have
post.
24 people competing as a single.
I should also admit, Drew's contributed puns before, but I never got around to mentioning his actual Twitter handle, which is @DrPPPoopoo.
We're up against the best.
Now, the other person who has entered a pun is Ryan. Now,
Hello, Ryan.
Hello, Ryan.
Always good to have you,
nice
Ryan.
of you to come by.
Ryan has said that since he actually managed to score a point in the game, he's completed the thing he really wanted to do. Mm-hmm. But considering all the cyberbullying he's copped from us, he's going to kick this round off with a compound pun. Who's Lachlan now? Isn't laughing. Dale gives the Irish goodbye and says, "See you later," as couple bail. Wave farewell as tides turn in love.
Didn't take any of mine.
Yeah. I think got one. Took one of them.
Okay, right.
Nice
of a
work,
bitch,
Ryan.
Ryan.
You fucker.
I think it's deserved.
It's good work. I resent him as a competitor the same way I resent all these guys.
Who would like to kick this round off?
I'll go because I don't have many.
Okay.
Sure.
There's only one pun for this round, mate.
Isle of Man? I don't, says Radcliffe.
Dave.
And so he's coming from Scotland.
Yes.
Yeah. So Loch Lone Man.
Ah, yes.
Ah, nice. I don't know why. When I read this, I thought they lent on the Romeo and Juliet thing a lot more heavily. And then when you read it back then, I went, nope, they just did it once. So,
Oh, well.
being the pretentious smarty boy that I am, I got a lot of Shakespeare puns coming up. But I do feel reasonably confident on this one. Sea-crossed lovers?
Unfortunately, incorrect.
Oh, that's good though. That should have been it.
Yeah, that really should have been.
Good.
I feel like I thought of a Shakespeare one, and it's not here. So I'm going to try and rethink of that before Ferris gets to it. But for now, let's go mid-90s Australian TV reference. Potential lover pushed back into the water. Isle of Man, oh man.
That is such a 90s reference.
I watched a bunch of that a while ago. You can find it on YouTube. It's great.
Yeah. Does it hold up?
As well as it ever did.
Drew has Dale earns heart, relationship crashes into retaining wall on the final lap. Lisa.
Kind of a Kawasaki situation.
Radcliffe answers the eternal question, to ski or not to ski?
He's not a Romeo. He's a very nautical boy.
Jessica and Dale seeing and doing other people.
Drew has Scottish man inspired by James Bond. Monkey see, see do, monkey do, see do.
I'll see you soon.
Immature stunt ends island romance. Isle of Man-child.
My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I ride jet ski.
Poetic as fuck this episode, Ferris.
I'm very classy.
Scotsman left in Love's wake.
Drew has jet ski Romeo finds his sea Juliet.
Did you have that one? Fancy boy?
I did not.
One of the islands in the Irish Sea is Anglesey.
Okay.
Might have been quicker depending on the angle of the sea.
Okay.
I'm not doing well.
Scottish traveller finds himself in a Loch mess. Doing great.
These buoyant delights have violent ends.
Wow.
The British public ship and Dale, but rescue Angers.
A Chippendale Rescue Rangers reference.
Yes.
Nice.
90s TV is the theme.
Dale McLaughlin arrested after Glasgowing to the Isle of Man on a jet ski.
Where's the Aberdeen? Aberdeen.
Okay.
Couple just weren't on the same wavelength.
Ooh.
Pair of star-crossed lovers take their lives and the lives of any elderly or immune-compromised loved ones for granted.
Oh, love me do. You know I see do. So please, love jet skis too.
Friends unimpressed with McLaughlin. Pull your Edinburgh.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Fuck. One can barely fathom such a sea-bound journey.
Ah, yes, nice.
Actually, the full story works pretty well with this pun, which I thought was a bit more tenuous than what it is.
Okay.
But relationship ends because of jail or sea. Jails.
Ah, okay.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to sink.
You really have run down this road, eh?
I like Romeo and Juliet.
That's fair.
My Romeo and Juliet pun is actually coming weirdly in the third story.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
The one about offal.
Yeah.
Loving is skeezy.
Man jet skis from East Kilbride to Kilbride, allegedly.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Sail the Irish Sea on a jet ski? No Manx.
Add saving Mr. Manx.
Romeo released from prison early. Confused underling asked prison official, Cap, you let him go?
Good.
Story of love and loss makes for a propelling tale.
McLaughlin opens up about jet ski ride. Without my girl, my life isn't worth Livingston.
Oh, their romance is not all it appears to be.
Okay.
Man regrets voyage through Irish Sea. I was doubling my losses.
This is one that works better written down. Boy meets girl.
Nice.
Hey.
Yeah.
Dale returns bent on revenge. German tourists panic as it becomes clear that he's going to ram into the harbor. Ramsey Harbor.
Oh, God.
Very good.
Scottish man does crazy jet ski stunt. Narcotics officers says he must have done a firm line, as in Dunfermline line, which is a town.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Right.
take your word for it on that.
We can all make up town names.
Flanley. Is that there we go. That's a town.
I mean, you'd have to have a pun off it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just throwing syllables together.
We take it back, Drew. It's a lot harder than we thought.
An emotional journey.
Ah, yes.
Ski fall.
That's just in Skyfall?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ski fall, Skyfall.
Probably could have put a bit more work into that one, but that's all right.
The main lyric of the song, though. Just
Man charged with breaking quarantine and indecency.
As he leaves back for Scotland, Dale stops his engine and, bobbing in the waves, turns and says, I'm just a boy, standing in front of a girl, asking her to shove me. I've hit a bit of a sandbank.
Man's relationship is still up in the air.
Oh, yeah.
AYR.
I'm out.
Oh, you're out. Okay. Dave.
I think we should see other people. But
yeah.
see would be spelled.
Yes.
Works
yes.
better written down.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a similar note, to show his girlfriend a good time, he took the scenic route.
Jess runs away with her new Russian lover, says, Netsky to the jet ski.
Unimpressed local state man from Green Rock must have been smoking some White Rock. He was on crack. Like, you know.
That's what we're saying.
Oh.
McLaughlin's risky decisions has him kicking himself. And that hurts 3 times as much in the Isle of Man. But my maths is wrong. It's like 1.5.
Isle of Man on jet ski.
Stunned faces as second boyfriend arrives on a jet ski moments later. Guys, it feels like I'm in a wake.
Drew is out.
Oh, thank
Yes.
God.
Dave.
Romantic gesture, not the ski to her heart.
Love Struck Sea Voyager hasn't got a crew.
That takes a lot of gall away.
Story about a cool guy on a jet ski jumps the shark.
Okay.
Without a jet ski, visiting his girlfriend would have been a real ordeal.
Now, I don't really know if people from the Isle of Man identify as English. I suspect they don't.
Probably
but
not.
for the purpose of this, they do. Getting there with just 10 minutes of petrol left, Dale arrives in the nick of limeys. Because they put him in jail.
Yes.
I am out.
Dave is out. All right. Ferris and Alex.
Determined to impress his girlfriend, man grabs his best boat tie.
Now, it's not there yet. All right. It's kind of newsworthy. Tragedy as Aberdeen man attempts copycat act on 60-mile scooter ride. Bay City roller found dead.
God. Did one of the Bay City Rollers...
The leads here in the Bay City rollers died this week.
Topical. Ambitious sailor left living the shingle life.
All right. So this one is assuming that the British tabloids have implied that Jess is a bit of a tease.
Okay.
But I think that's a pretty good assumption,
Yeah.
knowing the British tabloids.
They usually do.
So the Sunbreak story of Jess breaking Dale's heart, implying in classic style that she's a tease. Yes, we read it in a magazine. Oh, yes, she left him with a semi and a jet ski. Boom, 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 boom.
I don't know what song that is.
It's Benny and the Jets.
Oh, okay.
Should I do it again?
Semi and the Jets ski. Fucking hell.
Did you want me to take another pass at it?
That's fine. Don't worry.
No.
No, let's go back and polish this turd. I don't even know if this counts as a pun, but the wordplay I just couldn't get past.
Okay.
Daring Romeo overcomes Verona crisis to visit Juliet through coronavirus.
Ah, yeah,
How
definitely.
weird is
Right.
it that those
yeah.
are...
Yeah. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, you can have that one.
General.
You can also have the round,
Oh, you out?
funnily enough. Yes, I think so.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there we go.
Well, Ferris, that gives you the point for most number of puns.
Good, because I was... Look, I had this one. I think I misread some of the other parts of the story that somebody broke in through a window at some
That's
point.
is that Romeo and Juliet? Is that
No. Well, I had, but soft what lad through yonder window breaks.
I like it. I don't think anyone broke through a window, though.
Yeah.
Some of the other puns we had, Max on Twitter, also known as Ren, more like Dale McLove lost.
Yeah.
Man who violated COVID lockdown gets locked out instead. To the tune of 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, which is not a song I know very well.
I know the tripod version.
Just leave it on a jet ski. Gretzky head back to Glasgow. Let's dismiss the COVID. Just get in the sea. Jake Pinnell on Twitter had It's Not You, It's C. Every row has its thorn. Now this one requires an Alex-style run-up. I imagine Dale's jet ski trip let him have a moment of self-realization about his sexuality. Jet skier comes out. Isle of Man.
Nice.
Yep.
And Sarkul also had Juliet has to jet.
Yeah.
Very good. Very
Yes, the actual pun we were looking for
All right.
was simply on the rocks.
I'm so angry.
Wow.
That
Yep.
sucked.
I mean, it is the Daily Mail, but like,
Makes kind of sense.
Yeah,
though.
and you also forget that that's
Daily Mirror.
pretty much all that British beaches are is rocks.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of sand like a normal beach.
So after that round, Ferris on 3 points, everyone else yet to score. As we move to the quality round, this story did not have a pun headline. These guys have submitted 3 puns to an anonymous judge who has selected a best and second best pun. The story from the BBC News, sent to us by Sam Whitelaw. Thanks, Sam.
This is a weird story.
This week, police in Paris announced a fruitful investigation and a raid netting MDMA and ecstasy with a street value of over 1 million euros. But it has turned out to be fruitful in a different way. Sources close to the investigation now say the pink powder was in fact ground up sweets, or more specifically, crushed Taggart strawberry made by Haribo, AFP reports, one of the most popular brands of sweets in France. A suspect faces prosecution as police also found stolen mobile phones, as well as the machine used to manufacture ecstasy tablets, Le Parisien reports. But it is not clear why the original haul was reported to be illegal drugs, nor why seemingly large amounts of an innocuous sweet have been ground into powder.
Well, obviously he was going to try and make them into like fake ecstasy tablets, right? If he had an ecstasy like pill pressing machine.
Or maybe he was gonna just make real ecstasy with a delicious fruity flavor.
That is the one thing it's missing.
Yeah, it's true.
I've never had ecstasy.
Okay, so who would like to go through their quality puns?
Oh, let me take you down. Cop swears vengeance on strawberry fiends forever. Interpol drop K says powder placed in different class, but it's okay because we're all sorted out for Sherbies and Whiz Fizz. French cops bust up drug trafficking themed birthday party. 12-hour wait for evidence as youngster passes the parcel.
Sorry, can you just explain that second one?
The passing the parcel.
No, the
It's
Sherbies.
like sometimes you swallow drugs and then it works its way through your digestive system.
No, the Sherbies and Whiz Fizz one.
Oh, there's a song sorted out for Ease and Whiz
Oh, okay.
by Pulp from the
right.
album Different Class.
Oh, okay.
And drugs are sometimes placed into classes.
Yes, okay.
There's a lot going on there. And the members of Pulp were often on drugs. So it's all full circle.
You know what's funny? I had a feeling it was going to be a song lyric, and for some reason I had a feeling it was going to be Pulp because it was you. It's probably going to be like British indie pop from like the early 90s.
You were correct.
I wish I had guessed this before.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Amateur drug dealer in quite a jam. Protective police accused of mollycoddling. Misunderstood shipment, the last straub.
Dave.
Informant clarifies tip. No, I said it had a €1 million sweet value.
Yeah.
Police blame mix-up on tip-off, claiming factory had bags of pure candy. And police shut down factory fearing a turf war after receiving a tip that rivals were testing mega warheads.
I had, after hours of police interrogation, witness finally gives a confection. Daring drug raid sees police beat suspect to a pulp. Not the band.
Yeah.
And the weed of crime bears sweet fruit-flavored glucose gelatin substance.
Imagine if you could beat someone up until they turned into Pulp, the band. You just kept punching them, and all of a
Maybe
sudden,
that's how Pulp the band got started.
When I was in primary school, warheads were banned for a while.
Whoa.
Because,
You lived in a goddamn nanny state.
yes, where the constant distraction of having blue or black or red flavored tongues was apparently at a crisis point.
Nah, you know what they should have banned?
Ghost drops.
Ghost Drop, yes,
Yeah.
Ghost Drop's much the same thing, yes.
Yeah.
You know what they should have banned? Remember, like, there was the Lucky Dip ones, and sometimes they'd be hot, and sometimes they'd be sour, and you'd think you'd be getting a delicious sour one, but instead you'd be getting a gross hot one.
Yeah.
Those should be fucking banned.
Well, those are ones where you could like eat the stick as well. Like the stick was like made out of candy.
Yes. Gross.
Yeah.
the hot ones as well. Do you remember the urban legend about how they stopped selling those because the kid gave his mum one when she didn't know what it was, and then she put it in her mouth and crashed a car? That was like the urban legend. That's why they stopped selling the hot ones.
Great legend. It was actually because they were gross.
They were really gross.
Yeah, they're pretty
Terrible.
All right. In second place, with 2 points, is Ferris with the weed of crime bears sweet fruit flavored glucose and gelatin substance,
Thank you very much, anonymous judge.
putting you on 5 points. And with 3 points is Alex with Oh Let Me Take You Down, Cop Swears Vengeance on Strawberry Fiends Forever.
Yes.
Okay, so our anonymous judge has at least a working knowledge of 90s Britpop.
No, the Beatles.
that one's the Beatles.
That's the Beatles.
Oh, okay, that was the Beatles one. That's right.
Down.
Strongly suggest they don't, in fact, have a working knowledge
Yeah.
of 90s Britpop.
60s Britpop, though. The point is, we're narrowing in.
We got them.
Jake Pinnell had Paris Police Folly, Good Golly Miss Molly, No Ecstasy here, and Phrase Put Your Hands Up, Phrase being the French word
Yes.
for it. Yep.
Yes. Very good.
Max or Ren had Strawberry Dealers Forever. So it was, yeah.
I didn't even think of trying to go for a French pun. I'm not a fancy boy at all.
You call yourself fancy.
Call yourself a fucking dandy.
Embarrassed cops frantically try to bury the story. Incompetent officers fired. The police chief say this was the last straub.
Very good.
Drew also had, this pun is based off the fact that the French word for strawberry is fraisier, which looks a lot like Frasier. French narcotic officers bust dealers with more than just a Kelsey gram or two of MDMA.
Worth it.
Officer with cold says, we made a very bad mistake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
In the tune of Inagata Davida. Intagata Davida, baby. Don't you know about my drug use? Intagata Davida, honey. Don't you know that they're actually fruits? Yeah.
Long walk.
I don't think they're fruits or berries.
Strawberries?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
They're some sort of offshoot.
Are they like herbs? Or no, that's bananas.
They're called like a companion vegetable or something. It's got a weird name.
Damn botanists.
I like how much the listeners are making you sing today, Cherry.
Oh, they love it.
I feel like if it's sweet, it's a fruit, and if it's savory, it's a vegetable.
Yeah.
And I will die on this hill.
I'm much happier with that system being where we draw the line.
Yeah.
What about a banana? Banana is
Is a fruit.
Sweet. It's a fruit.
banana's not sweet.
Yes, they are.
Yes,
they're
they
not.
are.
Yeah, that's
They're sugary.
You're thinking of plantains, which are vegetables.
Okay, so after that round, Ferris on 5 points, Alex on 3, everyone else yet to score. As we go into the third round, story 3 from the ABC News, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation.
Put your food down before you listen to the story.
Yeah, this one's a bit gross. A two-vehicle crash on the Mount Lindsay Highway south of Brisbane has left a mess of chicken giblets strewn across the road. Photos shared on social media showed what appeared to be offal spread across the highway. Caller Mike from North Macleay told the station he drove through the intersection shortly after and spotted a worker sweeping the mess away. There's pools of it on the road, Mike said. It's been there baking in the sun all day. One contractor who would normally be called up for such a cleanup job, Steve from Logan Village, called in to say he was relieved it wasn't him. I'm so glad I didn't get the call to clean that thing up, he said. Steve said he had a fleet of road sweeper trucks that were normally called out to similar incidents. We had a sewage truck tip over the entrance to the Gateway Bridge a couple of years ago, he said. Pardon the language, but that was a bit of a crappy job.
You know what? Steve loves to chat.
Like he said that he was like, that's going on the news that way.
I mean, it did. I didn't include them, but this article included photos. Which included the cab of the truck that was carrying the giblets. Because it stopped suddenly, they'd all thrown forward into the cab of the drivers.
Ow.
So the back window had been smashed in, and he was also covered in glass and chicken giblets. No one was injured. Everyone's fine.
Oh my god.
But there was just chicken guts just draped all over the truck. It was disgusting.
Wait, so was it like a panel van, or was it like a truck with a separate bit on the back?
Yeah, it was a truck with a carrier on
But
the
then
back.
how does it get into the front? Because they're separate bits. They're separate.
Well, no, it was like one of those open top ones.
Oh,
Someone just poured chicken giblets into a truck and said, "There you go, take them away."
good
Oh
job.
my god.
Where was he going? Because they weren't being stored in a way that was food safe. They were just was he just taking them to the dump?
Local kindergarten.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad story. Anyway,
Yeah.
Lisa, you can kick this round off as you and Dave are currently coming last.
Hell yeah. It's like when you get the blue shell in Mario Kart.
The most bullshit shell.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
It really fucks everyone up.
Nah, you want the lightning.
No, you want red shells.
I kind of like being chased by a blue sometimes, especially on Wario Stadium, because you're like, this is where we sort the men from the boys. You do that thing where you jump off the thing just as the blue's about to hit you, and then it goes down the ramp. Yeah, it's the
Is that
best.
the only way to avoid
The
a blue
best.
shell?
So you're not one of the guys that will just quickly slip into second place
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
dropped
Oh
that.
yeah, all
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you let somebody go past you, and then
and they cop it. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Anyway,
favorite is
the
because
best.
I'm always Yoshi, and I like when I have the big green. I like when I have the green shells, and then some big fucker like Bowser bashes into me because they think they're hard, and then they get hit with my shells.
Is Bowser the selection of people who think they're hard?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Bowser's big tough guy. Yoshi's small nice soft boy.
Okay.
yeah. Anyone who doesn't choose Yoshi, I'm suspicious of.
He's a perfect middleweight.
I mean, I mained Luigi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
me too.
I
I'm
like
Team Luigi.
Luigi.
Why? You like driving as a cuck?
Suppose not wrong. All right, Lisa, kick this round off.
Just leave it there. Just
Think about Luigi. Yeah,
I think we can all agree.
you can imagine it.
Mario fucks his wife? I don't know what you're getting at.
Oh, he does.
Mummy,
Oh, Mario, why are you doing
no.
this?
I'm gonna fuck up my wife.
Why are you doing this? We're brothers.
No, but if he's a cuck, he's into it.
Not necessarily.
No, that's true.
he just accepts it.
Yeah.
Lisa, what's your pun? Come on.
Oh, Peach, why you do this? Sorry.
I'm buying you this mansion.
what has happened to this podcast?
All right. An awful mess.
Chicken guts crash on busy highway creates awful mess for cleanup crews.
Hey, thank
Yeah.
God.
So Lisa now tied with Alex on 3 points, only 2 points behind Ferris. Just about anyone's game.
Oh my God.
What's the point?
Dave, What you got?
All right. Well, I had that, obviously. No points, though.
Oh.
Why, oh why, did the chicken truck cross the road?
I had a similar roadside commissioner wants to know how did the chicken get smeared across the road?
Did the car crash cause the truck to swerve, or did the swerving truck cause the car to crash? Either way, it's a chicken and egg problem.
Bit of a mess on the road? Cry me a liver.
Driver responsible for crash to pay paltry sum.
Nice.
Oh, good.
New transport initiative, never giblet a chance.
Brisbane traffic in Gristle Lock.
This is an Australian story.
Mm-hmm.
Gizzards of Oz.
Accident leaves behind a grisly scene.
Police suspect foul play.
Ah, yes.
Truckie vows to fight stink driving charge.
Disappointed business owners gutted by loss of stock.
This work's better written down, but road cleaner gets stuck in meeting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Witnesses say the crash was somehow strangely beautiful, like poultry in motion.
Council vows to seal the mess in a sealed encasement. It's a breast case scenario.
Business owners angry at frustrating drivers. You drive me guts.
Crash leaves behind a trail of broken bone.
Two vehicle collisions sees roads littered with corpses. Chickens finally get to the other side.
A road by any other name would smell. So sweep.
The story of a car accident and all that entrails.
Truck driver's story, a load of tripe. Which check out, say police.
Chicken sick of being scooped up.
Truckie tells mates how he escaped drink driving charge in all the commotion. Made a great chicken beer yarn, eh?
Oh. God.
Chicken biryani?
Yeah. Chicken biryani. Beer yarn, eh?
Driver's certainly not given a pate on the back for this mess.
Victims of car accident in gravy danger.
Geriatric driver assumed his cargo would bounce. No spring chicken.
Chicken Karma's drama.
I'm out.
Oh, okay. Lisa's out. Well, you got 3 points.
Not going to struggle to try to make them on the fly and embarrass myself.
Okay.
I'm going to go out with some fucking dignity.
Yeah, this is very dignified.
Oh, yeah, I always am.
Well, at least you have that choice, Lisa.
Dave?
Crash leaves roads a flaming mess.
Cleanup crew turns away nasty job. Chicken's out.
Same word, different pun as Ferris's last one. Authorities warn of chicken going bad in hot summer sun. Warning, this is no spring chicken.
Driver incredibly stressed after crash. You see, it's a live or die situation.
Yeah.
Thought he could make the turn, but couldn't quite pull it off. Yeah, we get that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
I don't, but okay.
Pull it is a young female chick.
Oh, I didn't get it.
I did. Yeah. I'm glad I clarified.
Yeah.
Local trucking company in hot water. Farmers say they shouldn't have let fox in the hen house.
Road cleaner promises to use all their resources to clear scene. Could be tomato, mayonnaise, barbecue, or even some chili sauce, but we're going to eat every last piece.
1 in a million flock chance.
Crash results after daring game of chicken.
Yeah.
Chicken breast in peace.
Crew's still combing for chicken pieces.
Oh.
Authorities in a panic, running around like a chicken with a head cut off. Luckily, chicken with the head cut off has taken charge.
Oh, imagine combing your hair and a big chunk of chicken just like falls out.
Is something to imagine, yeah.
That's gross.
Horrible accident sees passengers sustain wingjuries.
Traffic accident ruffles feathers.
Police rope off the scene of the incident. Chicken caught on blue.
Onlooker describes accident as terrible. It was as if everything was happening in slow cooker motion.
After run of bad luck, driver deserves a wing.
I've taken up a real position against the driver here, by the way.
Okay.
Kentucky fired.
Even though it's disgusting, this story is kind of making me hungry.
Head-on collision after truck deboned. T-bones?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, it should work, but saying it out loud, it doesn't.
It does work, Dave.
Risky driver loses his clutch.
Chicken's chopped up by Volkswagen Transporter. Coco van.
Ah,
Nah, I'm out.
You're out?
I'm
Okay.
done.
Dave's out.
Observers told to move along, but some managed to get a beak at the scene.
Truckee claims that a cow wandered onto the road, causing the incident, but authorities not buying cock and bull story.
Making a lot of assumptions about the driver here.
I'm just saying he's got a question to answer.
Truck takes chickens straight to the coop, as in the small car.
Yeah.
Luck of the draw who has to clean the road these days after council's sweeping reforms.
Traffic delays expected after free-range pile-up.
Nice.
Six-wheeler goes awful road.
I think I am out.
You're out.
I am.
All right. Alex.
Look, Alex, can we agree that it's better that we don't lower ourselves to puns along the lines of excellent?
I think we can agree with that.
Yeah, okay, good. Then I'm out.
Wait, I could have used excellent.
I'm out. I'm done here.
Okay. Do you need one more, Alex?
Okay. I think I only have one more, actually.
Oh, jeez.
Here we go.
I've got one more now.
Health authorities warn against eating road giblets. You should never serve chicken tartare.
All right. That gets you the point for most number of puns.
Oh, actually, I think I need to do another
Okay.
to beat. Oh,
No, you're
you wouldn't- you wouldn't
Did I
you're-
go first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
No.
Ferris, you're fine. So you
Ferris
won. So
didn't
you've got the point for
want
most. You're the overall winner of Punwatch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
On 6 points, just ahead of Ferris's 5. Did you have any more?
Chicken disappears as if by a poultry heist.
Yeah.
Imagine like the little girl from Poltergeist, except instead of saying they're here, she's like, they're hens.
Some of the ones we had submitted. Max Wren. Accident on him leaves behind an awful mess. Asked how difficult cleanup would be. Highway Patrol said that once they get the solid bits cleaned up, the rest is just gravy. Crash investigation hits a roadblock as truck driver reluctant to spill her guts again.
Such a gross story.
But I do kind of want KFC now.
Yeah.
Drew had chicken truck driver out on streets raising Cain. Driver runs Wingstop sign, gets into wing crash with wing truck. Wingstops are, they sell wings. To the tune of Mr. Bojangles. I knew a chicken shop, Bojangles, famous chicken and biscuits, and he'll crash for you in a worn-out truck.
Is that an American brand?
No, I don't know. And also KFC, but it stands for car fucking crashed into chicken truck.
Simple and elegant.
Yeah, Jake Pennell also had
I really enjoy it because car doesn't start with K.
Jake Pennell also had crash leaves an awful scene. But what happened to the giblets? A heart and liver and gizzard warming story. And Kentucky Fried Collision.
That's probably better than the
Yeah.
one.
And Saar also had playing chicken on the road to take care not to get roasted.
Our listeners are pretty good at this.
Yeah, they are. They're pretty good at the old puns.
Yeah.
I've actually been, as a way to get the episodes done quicker, I've actually been like, you know Twitch? Like
Yes.
where
You know
people,
of it.
Yeah, where people stream themselves playing games. I stream myself cutting an episode of a podcast. And people actually do show up to like watch.
Oh,
What?
Because they can hear me, like they can hear the podcast as I'm cutting it.
Yeah.
But it just helps me, like, if like because
Oh, no.
if
no,
I'm doing,
no, I don't want that.
oh no, they
You're
can
gonna
hear us.
all my racist diatribes.
Oh, they can hear us unfiltered. I don't like that at all.
They can hear us now being cut. Help!
Help, I'm stuck in here.
but I don't know, it's just something about like if I'm doing it at home by myself, I have a hard time concentrating. If I've got like people watching me, even though they don't give a shit what I do, it somehow just makes me concentrate and get it done. It's weird.
It is just wild how low, like how hard people worked in like the 70s and 80s and 90s to make television programs and how low the bar is for entertainment.
Yeah, but hang on. Haven't you always said TV and movies from the 70s were boring?
Yeah, you do always say that.
That's true. That's true. There was a sweet spot in like, I don't know, from like,
Your childhood?
I mean, surprisingly, yes.
to defend broadcast television now,
Why?
I don't think anyone's airing cherry editing our podcast. Like,
I'm just
it's
saying,
not- it's
who
not-
would have thought?
It's not on like prime time.
Who would
say-
have thought 10 years ago that this had an audience?
I'm not going to defend Twitch, but I'm also not going to defend commercial TV because I was watching daytime TV the other day with a client, and on television at the moment is people competitively playing that game you play at fairgrounds where you drop a coin and the coin has to go down. and
yeah, I've seen
push-
that.
Was this tipping point?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It has to push the other coins down the thing,
Yeah.
and then those coins push the thing, and then they go down into the bucket.
The version you see of it around here is the one where it's all like really old expired chocolate bars.
Yeah, yeah.
And you get a claw to pick them up, and you hope that some of the really like 4-year-old chocolate bars drop into a thing so you can eat them.
Yeah, so I think it's more of a British thing at fairgrounds, but here we have them at like Time Zone and Playtime and, and that sort of thing, and they're usually chocolates or little lollies.
A galactic circus.
Yeah.
I have no idea what any of you are talking about.
You don't know that? You don't know that game?
No.
I'll show you. But it's ridiculous, and the music is so dramatic. It's like dum dum.
It's a game show on the same level as like Pachinko.
Yeah, it's Pachinko the TV.
I still think this is better than watching someone edit a podcast.
At least there's a visual element.
That was Punwatch by The Consumption. You can find more Consumption stuff at theconsumption.net, video sketches, audio sketches, and our other podcasts, Failure to Launch, about failed television pilots. We also have a Patreon if you'd like to support the podcast and get the episodes a day or two early. And we're also on YouTube, and we're on Twitter at pun_watch. Anyone else want to plug their social media?
I'll plug my other podcast.
There you go.
If I'm allowed.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to do some outside advertising.
You did it last time.
Yeah, I know.
So do it again.
All right.
Obviously you're allowed.
Obviously at the going rate.
Yeah, I have a podcast. It's called Reanimates. It's where I sit down with friends and talk about the films of Jeffrey Combs, the best actor in the world. It's fun. I don't care if you don't know who he is because he's great.
I know who he is. I think I was going to come on at some point. We were going to talk about Star Trek because he played Wayoon.
Yes.
And a bunch of other Star Trek
Yes,
characters.
I do. Yeah, I will have to have some sort of a Trekkie on because I have not come into Jeffrey Combs fandom via Star Trek, and so my knowledge is paltry at best. Paltry at best.
You just said you have not come into Jeffrey Combs.
I haven't, not yet, no.
But it's a life goal.
One of my greatest regrets.
If he was up for it, would you like to have Jeffrey Combs on to watch one of his own movies?
You know, I've thought about it, and I don't know if I could. Like, I haven't even followed him on Twitter from the podcast because I don't know how he would feel about knowing that there's a podcast about him, and I'd be too nervous to talk to him. I'd be too self-conscious. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what I would say. I mean, that'd be a great season finale, though, wouldn't it? To have Jeffrey Combs on.
And you just sitting there silently. Him just sitting there silently while one of his movies plays.
Yep. Just being like...
And you'd be like, oh, it's pretty good, eh?
Yeah, you remember that bit? It was just a good bit, isn't it? Yeah.
But part of being an actor in Hollywood surely is to be able to make people feel okay about that kind of stuff because that's their entire living.
Yeah.
To be...
a friendly person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the podcast is at Reanimates Pod on most of the social medias. It is also on YouTube as well, and it's on the usual podcast places, and I think it's really fun.
Good.
I'm having a lot of fun with it so
Excellent.
far. And don't worry, all these guys will fucking be on it eventually. Don't worry. It would be really weird to be talking about it on this podcast and then not have you guys on ever.
Never invite us.
I don't actually like you guys enough to do a podcast with you.
All right. Well, thank you to Lisa.
You're very welcome.
Thank you to Dave.
Thanks.
Thank you to Ferris.
Thank you.
Thank you to carryover champ Alex.
No, thank you, Jerry.
And thank you to you, the listener.
Puns.